Hey guys, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. This video is inspired by just online shopping. Do you ever online shop and you just decide to sort by high to low or low to high? I was kind of doing that the other day and I was just wondering, what are some of the most expensive things that Louis Vuitton sells? And I was surprised by some of them. So here are 10 of the most expensive things that you can buy from Louis Vuitton. Now this is a little bit different from what I usually shop at Louis Vuitton, which obviously tends to be ladies items, bags, shoes, small leather goods, things like that. But the things on this list are kind of out of the norm, and some very out of the norm of what I would normally buy. So the first thing on this list, and I'm going to start off with the one that really draws my attention, and I'm going to age myself a little bit here because this item is something that if I were to be on the Spice Girl bus, do you remember that huge bus they had in that movie, which by the way isn't streaming anywhere? I think you can buy it on Amazon, but I was feeling nostalgic the other day and I wanted to watch it and I couldn't find it. But this item is totally what I would picture adding to the Spice Girls bus if I was a Spice Girl myself, and it's this cocoon disco chair. Now I've seen this chair in different variations in the boutique, and there is one that I know is a little pricier. It's the fur one, which also I think would fit really well in the Spice Girls bus, maybe for like Baby Spice, but this one is just the one that I like more, and it's the disco one. It has tons of little mirrors all around it. Couldn't you picture this in like a bus like that, or some kind of cool hotel room, or maybe like a fun house? This is retailing for $116,000, and there's over 10,000 little mirrors on this chair and on the cushions, and there's only 5 of them. So if you ever see this chair in the wild, you're seeing something super rare. I think, again, it's super fun. Crazy price tag. Number 2 on this list is the Louis Vuitton Escala Automatic 40.5 millimeter platinum and diamond watch. Now, I'm not a big watch person, but I know there are watch collectors out there, and there are some crazy, crazy expensive watches in the world. So I don't know if this is exactly like something that a watch collector would or wouldn't go for, but it definitely caught my attention when I was looking at the website. It comes with an onyx dial, and it seems to be unisex because it does give measurements for a male and a female wrist size. The bracelet is made up of a black calf leather strap, and then it has a buckle set with 11 baguette cut diamonds, and the metal again is platinum. This is retailing for $163,000. I don't think that's the most expensive watch I've ever seen, but it's pretty up there. This third one is straight out of MTV Cribs. I don't know, did you ever used to watch that show? I remember watching that show, and I later learned that a lot of those houses weren't actually the the celebrity's house, which actually doesn't surprise me because I've since worked in television some, and a lot of the things that you see even in reality shows they're not real. It's fake, it's produced. I think the biggest reveal for reality being fake was The Hills. Do you guys remember that ending for The Hills? That was like a collective gasp for every like teenage or 20-something girl across America and maybe even beyond. So again, this is something straight out of MTV Cribs, whether the person owned the house or not. And it's this monogram billiard table. You can get it in a few different colorways. This is retailing for $113,000. Now, I'm not a huge pool player. I have played pool and billiards in the past, and I was looking for tables to kind of get like a good idea of what an average table was priced at. And I was seeing things like, I mean, sure, you could find some like in the $600 range, but I think a nicer table averages around $3,000 to $5,000. If you play pool or billiards, let me know in the comments below how much the average table costs, but that's kind of like what I was seeing based on my internet research. So to go from that to $113,000, that is a big, big leap. All right, this next one. So Louis Vuitton is known for their trunks. That's how they got their start, travel trunks. And the trunks are still really popular today. I do love a nice vintage Louis Vuitton trunk. This trunk, however, is if you are a huge fan of Louis Vuitton, say you have a lot of sneakers, then you need a sneaker trunk, of course. This is retailing for $196,000. I wonder if anybody's actually bought this because you can build a sick closet with you know, half that budget or even less. I wonder how many of these they actually sell, or any of the items on this list. Like the chair only had 5. I don't see a limit for this. Okay, this next one is really cool. I completely picture this in a really swanky hotel, maybe somewhere here in Miami. I really like the design of this, and it's the Bomboca sofa. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but it's by the Campana brothers. This one is retailing for $110,000 in the gray. You can get it in other colorways with different price points. It's designed after a curved shell, which I think is really why I picture it somewhere here in Miami. And it also makes me think of Miami because it's like a modern art piece, and we have Art Basel here every year, and it just totally fits, I think, the Miami aesthetic. I really like this green color, and I think it's very beautiful. Next, we have another furniture piece. Louis Vuitton actually has a lot of furniture pieces. If you've never taken a look, I definitely recommend checking it out. And this next item is the anemona table, or anemona. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but it does come in 3 different sizes. Again, it feels very beachy to me, and the price ranges from $74,000 to $107,000. Everything on this list is like the price of a very expensive car, or even like a house in some places. And they are also limited edition. So this one, I'm looking at the MM size, they only have 100. I don't think this list would be complete if we didn't dive into the world of jewelry. Now, there are some high-end pieces. Of course, there's going to be items that are not available on the website that I'm sure will be more expensive than the pieces that I'm talking about today. This piece retails for $84,000. It is the LV Diamonds Pendant LV Monogram Star Cut. Now, this is a dual signature, the LV Monogram Star Cut, an exclusive cut inspired by the Maison's historic motif, and the basket shaped like a monogram flower. Paved with diamonds at the back, it radiates sumptuous beauty nestled against a gown or bare skin. This piece is accompanied by an LV diamond certificate, a unique and immutable digital record of the central diamond's characteristic and its journey from extraction to final setting. The details that it gives is that it's 18 karat white gold. It has 1 LV Monogram Star Cut center stone between 2 and 2.99 carats. The center stone color ranges from D to H with a clarity of FL/IF to VS. It's got 22 diamonds, which are around 0.1 carats for a total of 2 carats. The motif width is 11 millimeters. The length is 42 centimeters with adjustable links at 38 and 40 centimeters. Now, this piece is the most expensive piece on our list, coming at $229,000. It is the Cuban chain necklace. The metal for this piece is 18 karat yellow gold, and there's 291 multicolored stones, totaling around 14.4 carats. And those stones are made out of savorites, sapphires, amethysts, rubies, spessartites, which are like in the garnet family, and citrines. Actually, I'd never heard of spessartites before this, so I had to do a little research because I was really interested in what they were composed of. And again, like I said before, they are in the garnet family, so a nice orangey red, and they do vary in color. So you've got a rainbow of different stones in there, from blue to green, yellow, orange, little red. I think I see some purple in there. It can be actually styled as 2 bracelets as well, so you could use it as a necklace or 2 bracelets. Now, the final jewelry piece on today's list is this piece from Louis Vuitton, and forgive my French, my pronunciation is not the best. I'm better at English and Spanish. So this is the Les Gaston Vuitton Masterpiece Gourmet Necklace, white gold and diamonds. This is retailing for $148,000. This piece apparently is in high demand because it says, due to high demand, your product will be shipped in 5 to 7 months. So if you've had your eye on this piece, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. This is one of the standout pieces per the description of their new collection, and it's a tribute to the creative vision and singular personality of Louis Vuitton's grandson, Gaston Louis Vuitton. Its white gold links are engraved and laser cut with the historic monogram signature, heightened by spectacular pave diamonds. It's white gold. It has 1,690 diamonds for about 14.5 carats. Guys, I really need to like get back on the French train. I think I need to get like a private online tutor. I was in French class when I was like 10, and I I'm bilingual. I speak English and Spanish. And then I stopped for a little bit. In high school, I did French again. And I did a few trips to Paris, practiced there, but you know how they are. They hear you with like an accent and they automatically want to speak to you in English, so it makes it a little bit difficult. And I haven't really practiced in years. So I think one of the things that I want to do is really get that third language. If you guys have any like online tutor recommendations, let me know in the comments below, because I know a lot of people were doing that during COVID and I totally should have done that. Final item on the list is not going to be as pricey as everything else that's been on the list, but relatively speaking, it is very expensive for what it is, which I guess you could say that for everything else on the list, but not as crazy priced, and it's going to be the chocolate. So Louis Vuitton has done a collab with Madame Frederique for a lot of their boutiques, including the one in New York. I did visit that last year in November, and I did pick up some chocolate. Now the prices for their chocolate starts at $35 for this bar of 5 pieces that has some shortbread and caramel inside. I picked up some chocolate when I was in New York just because I was there and it was just something fun to do. There's other chocolate that I would probably prefer, but if you're ever, you know, in one of the boutiques and you want to pick up a little something fun, the chocolate is a good idea. They recently shared this chocolate purse egg that I thought was absolutely beautiful. It made me think of those beautiful Fabergé eggs, but in chocolate. This egg piece was, I think, retailing for around $200. I couldn't find the US price. I found it in euros and it was around 200 euros. So I would assume something similar in dollars. The most expensive chocolate piece that I am seeing is this Vivienne on top of the trunk. This is retailing for $382 and it's a hand wound Vivienne mascot standing on a trunk. The figure is made of an assortment of milk and dark chocolate, and the trunk is made of dark chocolate and it's filled with a hazelnut spread. Alright guys, well this concludes this video of 10 of the craziest things that you can buy at Louis Vuitton right now. Would you ever consider getting one of these pieces? Maybe you can afford these pieces, or if you just like to pretend that you live in a world where your budget is unlimited, would you get one of these pieces, or would you kind of stick to something a little more average price or a little more reasonably priced? And let me know, have you been to the Louis Vuitton chocolate boutiques and picked anything up? If so, what did you think about the chocolate? If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.